How does a service charge impact food service employee tips? Imagine sitting down at a restaurant and seeing a bill with a line item called a service charge. You might wonder how that affects the tip you plan to leave, or if it replaces tipping altogether. This is a common question in the food service industry today. When a restaurant adds a service charge, it changes how employees earn their money and how customers tip. A service charge is a mandatory fee that a restaurant adds to the bill. Unlike tips, which customers give voluntarily based on the quality of service, a service charge is set by the restaurant and is part of the total bill. Employers treat service charges as regular wages, meaning they are taxed and included in the employee's paycheck. Tips, on the other hand, are considered voluntary gifts and have different tax rules. Because service charges are part of the restaurant's revenue, they are usually distributed to employees as part of their regular pay. This means workers get a more steady income since they do not rely solely on tips. Tips can vary greatly depending on how generous customers are, but service charges provide a predictable amount. However, the presence of a service charge can influence how tips are perceived and given. If customers see a service charge on their bill, they might think they do not need to leave an additional tip. This can lead to employees receiving less extra money from tips, even if the service was excellent. Clear communication from the restaurant about how the service charge is used is very important. Staff should explain whether the charge is shared among staff or kept by the restaurant. In some cases, the way a service charge is calculated can impact overtime pay. Since it counts as wages, it increases the base pay rate used to determine overtime. This can sometimes lead to higher overtime costs for the restaurant and may result in fewer hours for employees to control labor costs. From a career perspective, service charges can help employees earn a more consistent income. But it also means that the traditional way of earning tips based on customer generosity might lessen. Employees need to be aware of the policy and be ready to explain it to customers. Proper training helps prevent confusion and keeps the work environment positive. Restaurants that implement service charges often set a fixed percentage or flat fee. They include clear wording on menus and bills about how the charge is used. Staff training on explaining these policies is key to maintaining trust and good customer relations. In the end, a service charge changes the way tips work by turning what was once voluntary into a mandatory fee. This affects how much employees earn, how they are taxed, and how they communicate with customers. Clear policies and good communication help balance employee earnings and customer expectations, making the workplace fair and transparent.